What's up, guys? What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we will be talking about the British people, or the things that you need to know about them. So before I continue, I just want to share what my professor told us before, that if you're going to visit other country, it is important to know their culture first, because there are some things that you do in your country that you can't actually do in their country. So he simply means that you have to learn the differences, and you have to know that every country is unique, every country is beautiful, and every country needs to be respected, or every country's culture needs to be respected. First and foremost, British people are punctual. So for them, it is odd to be late, and somehow it is considered rude. So for example, if you're going to meet someone at a dinner, it's better to be late, or it's less rude if the place is at the house or dinner at home, like that. But if it's at the outdoor or at the restaurant, it's really rude. The second one is, so in the other countries, jumping the queue maybe is accepted or normal to them, but in UK it's not. And British people might be very unhappy with it, and they will definitely confront you, will definitely tell you that. And standing patiently in queue is a normal part of British culture. Please say thank you are parts of everyday conversations and interactions. Some people are baffled by how polite British people are, and you may not be used to it, but you will probably get used to it quickly after your arrival. Fourth is, when greeting a good friend or a family member in UK, you do not simply shake their hands. For example, if one of the people that are greeting or being greeted is female, you will simply have to give them a kiss on the cheek. But if you're not a close friend or a family member, physical touch is perceived as odd or uncomfortable. But you may simply just shake hands, give a simple smile, or maybe a bow is acceptable enough. So the fifth is, the British people have a high respect for the older adults and the disabled. So for example, you're in a vehicle and you saw an old person struggling, you're expected to help them, and of course give your seat to them. The second is, for example, you saw an old person struggling with something, you're also expected to ask them if they need your assistance. British pronunciation hacks.
Okay, let's go!
First is, don't pronounce every written R. In some accents, they do pronounce every written R, but in standard British English, they don't. So the rule is, if a written R is followed by a vowel sound, then you have to say it, but if it doesn't, then don't. You're gonna have to say the R in this word. For example, is arrange, 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 arrange. It's not silent R, so it's arrange, arrange. And for this next example, this is where you don't have to say the R. For example, is work, 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 shirt, shirt, beer, beer. In sentence, for example, I will say, can you pass me the beer? I'm gonna have to say it like this. Can you pass me the beer? Can you pass me the beer? So the next is we do actually want to pay attention to the words that we're saying. Because if we want to sound more like British, or if we want to do that British accent, we have to pay attention to the words that we're saying. For example, if I said the word trash, then I'm gonna sound more like an American, right? But instead of saying that, let's say rubbish. So it's the version of the British English. So what I'm saying is, let's do the British version, the British English version, to sound more like British people. The third is, you shouldn't pronounce every single written G. So yeah, especially when it is written as an NG, and more specifically if the word ends in NG. So for instance, we do not say it bang, sing. Instead, bang, sing. Last one is, you should always stress the vowel sound and not the consonant. For example, girl, car, alarm, and never the consonants. For example, like man, not like that. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it.